Alright, so here we go. Welcome back, everybody. This is Game 2 in the second best-of-3 series. Zenith currently up 1-0 against LGD. They need to, if they can win this match, we will go to a third best-of-3 series. If LGD win this one, well, we still have yet another match to play in this second best-of-3 series. But straight away, fast bans. This is actually identical to Game 1, actually. LGD, they banned the Enchantress, banned the Chen. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they banned the Prophet after as well. And there's the Earthshaker ban along with the Little Darks here, Gods.
Yeah, we're not surprised by these two bans here. Earthshaker, Darkster again, they're going to go with what worked fairly well last game. LGD, they'll still ban those jungle heroes, and I mean, we may just see a Lycan as their third ban again, unless they're feeling confident in dealing with it. I feel like LGD's biggest mistake with their draft last game was first picking that Chaos Knight. I mentioned a bit earlier, Chaos Knight is a hero. It's worthy of getting picked. It has a place in the current metagame, but he's not really top pick material. He shouldn't be the first hero gets snapped up, and they gave up Prophet and Invoker, and that's two heroes. I mean, we mentioned it. Trilane versus Trilane basically gets turned into a 5v3 with Prophet able to TP in and the Invoker Sunstrikes. That turns around that bottom lane, even when LGD were winning it from the start. So really, that was a big mistake. First picking Chaos Knight, giving away Prophet and Invoker. We're going to see things a bit different this time around. Invoker still in the pool. I think LGD will want to take it up here because Prophet Invoker, that combo again, is going to be very hard for LGD to deal with. They don't have the Earthshaker as a counter ganker. They just don't really have anything in return that can justify giving up both those two heroes.
Well, the alternative is to push, the thing is, like, Invoker and Prophet, they're the equalists. They're the ones that jump in and start outnumbering the Trilane. The other option is just to push on their lanes instead and not try and fight them in that lane where they have that advantage. And I think that is what LG last match weren't prepared to do, and in the end it cost them quite hard. But there you go, LGD this time decided to pick up the Invoker, and he's pretty versatile. He'll fit into just about anything they want to throw in here. So either way, a really strong pick, and at the very least, it denies it from the Zenith's hand, so they can't run that same combination as last match.
Oh yeah, and we'll see whether or not they go for the Quaz Wex or the Exhaust. I feel LGD are a team who may actually favor the Quaz Wex, especially against the aggression, the high aggression, and the sort of, they like to push down towers a bit, but they just focus on sort of overwhelming their opponents. The Tornado EMP is a great counter initiation for that. That can actually somewhat act in a similar way to a Fisher. When you get initiated on, just throw the Tornado. It's a big AoE. It does throw them up in the air and disable them. You can't actually stack any damage on top of the Tornado, but it's a great counter initiation. Shadow Shaman picked up as well. There's a versatile pick. It can go into that solo mid role. LGD will sometimes have it played by Zhao 8 in the mid lane, or sometimes they'll just run it as a sort of safe lane support hero, using those neutral camps to just pull and get XP and farm, even in the support role. Zenith, though, here's one of the best combos, one of the two best friends in the game, Shadow Demon Leshrac, and that's going to be hard to deal with, I feel.
And Morphling is going to be picked up last in the first phase there by Zhao 8. LGD going to put that to work. Also, a quick note on pings. I know some people have said, oh, this service will be so unfair, LGD will have a huge disadvantage. They're actually only about 30 ping. There's only about 30 ping difference between Zenith and LGD, so it's not very big at all. So definitely, I don't think ping is much of an excuse here at all, just for anybody who was wondering about those ping levels. And I have actually copy-pasted them into the chat there. But the second series of bans, and Gods, the other combo that we've seen actually semi-frequently in this tournament, I'm not sure if it is Zenith particularly who's been running it, but it was the Lina along with the Shadow Demon. You throw those two heroes together, Lina plus Soul Catcher is just, you don't like somebody, they explode. There is no way to stand up against that. As it looks like they are actually going to ban the Scylla Bear this time. Fair enough. Brood Mother also being banned by Zenith. I don't mind that too much, especially if they were going to want it with Prophet against it as well. That would have really stung. If they're planning to go for another aggressive trialing, and the Prophet went up against Brood Mother, he would likely lose his tower to that fairly quickly, just because he has very little control over that lane.
I feel Zenith would love to pick up a Tidehunter here. Tidehunter does give them that big AoE team, but they won with it last game. They've used it throughout the loser bracket matches when they're up against Tongfu as well as against Orange. I think Tidehunter ban here by LGD could be well justified, and we'll quite likely see Zenith picking it up again if it's still in the pool. XY has been on that support Tidehunter a number of times, although actually last game it was X Freedom on it. We're not going to get banned by Zenith, and there we go. Anti-Mage, going to be the hero that LGD are worried about, so they're going to have the Morphling, so no real strong hard carry for Zenith, but they could just go for aggression, big team fight, look to sort of control the game throughout the early to mid game, and Tidehunter would be a great hero to do that with, maybe even a Sand King. They just want some kind of AoE team fight hero. Sand King does have a slightly weaker time at the early levels, Does need to get the level 2, level 3 Bio Strike before he can start being too aggressive here, but he does synergize very well with the Shadow Demon, much like Leshrac does.
I agree. I'd rather see the Tana. Also, the other hero I wouldn't mind seeing would be the DK if they can slot that in. I think they've got space for another farming hero if possible. And DK, we've seen them do a ton of damage in these early pushing lines, although they are actually going to pick up the Night Stalker, so plenty of ganking firepower there. And I've got to say, that is a hero that all three of these heroes at the moment, the Rasta, the Invoker, and the Morphling, they do not like getting ganked by Night Stalker. In fact, nobody really does. He's going to be very, very scary and going to be difficult for them. They're going to have to really defend against that. And I think this is going to put a lot of pressure here on LGD. They're not going to really know what to do about it. But the next pick here for LGD, where are they going to go? I think they probably see another support get picked up here.
Yeah, but the supports they'd like to have is mostly being banned out. The Shadow Demon's being taken, the Earthshaker's being picked up. Those are probably the two best defensive support heroes against the Night Stalker. They're going to go with the Beastmaster. There's some lockdown. There's one way of dealing with the Night Stalker. You've got the access to get out of Sprouts, and I feel this is a nice pickup for them. They'll be playing the Shadow Shaman as a support. They'll want to get up another sort of support. They don't want anything too squishy that's going to be food for heroes like Prophet, Leshrac, and Night Stalker. They may go for a Tide Hunter themselves if they really want to. But there's a Death Prophet pick from Zenith. This is something I have not seen Zenith use, but it has been very, very popular with a lot of the teams in this tournament as well as in the European scene, and I feel it does fit. It fits Zenith's play style, and it really suits this game in their draft.
I don't know so much about the GDM. Yeah, we've seen her a couple of times, but not that many. She's sort of been a bit of a flavour of the month thing. She was popular she was popular 3-4 weeks ago, and then she sort of fell off the radar a bit. Hasn't been getting picked up nearly as much, but we'll see how she goes this match. I think the last time we actually saw her in this tournament was when she was being swapped consistently. Every time she tried to start a fight, a VS would just walk up and go, no, actually, separate you from your buddies and we'll just kill you instantly. And just the trade-off was just so huge that they couldn't deal with it. I do like the fact they've got the Beastmaster. They've got a lot of lockdown. This is going to be difficult for the Death Prophet to maneuver, but at the same time, she is definitely a big powerhouse hero, so we'll see how they deal with this. And like you said, God's a lot of pushing power there. This may be quite easy, especially if LGD, if they go for the later game Morphling, if they go for the Lincolns first, and they spend a lot of time getting that secondary weapon up, this could really give Zenith a huge window of opportunity to just finish the game before it can even get relevant.
Yeah, no, really it's going to be very, very hard for LG to buy time for this Morphling to get farmed. Invoker's a hero who doesn't really shine at the other. I mean, Invoker and Beastmaster, both heroes who are Invoker's level reliant to just get the high levels on his spells so that they can get more effective. Beastmaster needs the level 6 Raw before he can really help out his team. And Shadow Shaman, as a support hero, is going to be underleveled, not all that farmed. So really, LGD, there's going to be a huge emphasis on them winning their lanes. Otherwise, they're going to be in a very hard position where they're underleveled, underfarmed, and their mid game is going to struggle. So they're going to go with an Ancient Apparition. There's your other support here. We'll see how they want to lane this, whether they do go with the tri-lane with the Shadow Shaman and Ancient Apparition. They can send it top. Even if the pool gets blocked, there's so many different camps you can pull. We'll see one of them probably using the small camp. They can also use the normal pool spot. And I think Zenith, I don't think they really want to go tri-lane versus tri-lane at top because of all those pool camps the dire side has, but it's always a possibility. I mean, they ran the Prophet as in a safe lane solo last game, and it paid off. They could easily do something like it again. Prophet against someone like the Invoker or the Beastmaster at bottom lane could be very good for Zenith here.
We'll see how they decide to run it. I think they will. I kind of get that feeling as well that they're going to see some, unless they're planning to put the Prophet in the jungle and then just split up, go for the Night Stalker mid and then dual lane some lanes. We'll see what they decide to. I am feeling a bit of an aggressive trialing coming out. I do agree, but I'm just saying there is room for flexibility here. They could do quite a few things. In fact, Ice is going to be moving. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Ice in the mid, just judging from those items there. He's saving a bit of cash, which to me says he really wants that fast bottle.
Oh yeah, we'll see fast bottle, I imagine, is going to be a likely build for him at the moment. But right now, Zenith, 5-man sweep towards the top lane. What do they have in mind? In fact, it is going to be the Prophet still seeing it base. So Prophet likely go into that safe lane. I mean, they're going to go with, once again, the off-lane tri-lane at top, and that's going to be the Shadow Demon, Leshrac, and the Night Stalker. We'll see Ice probably at the middle lane, unless it's a tri-lane Death Prophet. I feel Death Prophet doesn't really offer much to a tri-lane. Night Stalker, sure, he's level dependent, but he can really help out that tri-lane, give him an additional nuke and slow. The Death Prophet is I'd say Death Prophet is even more level dependent than a Night Stalker. Night Stalker you can throw in a tri-lane, just look to get that control over this top lane and really shut down this Morphling who's going to be looking to get some farm, and he may struggle to find it here. Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
This is the end. Oh, double stun. Down will go Shadow Shaman, and they're going to get maybe a follow-up kill. No, silence of the wave. He gets actually silence, level 1 silence from Ice, but that was just great positioning, great high ground use there, and it is going to be the first blood going to XY, taking out the Shadow Shaman. Only barely. Shadow Shaman actually almost ran away there.
He just managed to cut line of sight for a second. The trees up there managing to almost save his life. And I know some people might be screaming pure luck, you know, what a lucky find, but that's just it. Sometimes a bit of luck will swing a match. It's not just pure skill all the time. But guys, I agree. It's very unlikely we'll see the Death Prophet in an aggressive Tron, just because, especially if they need to start hunting around, it's because of Dire. They can pull so many of these camps. If they have to start hunting around and clashing in the jungle and looking for kills, Night Stalker is a much better man for the job. Death Prophet really does not want to spend all that time buggering around. She wants to be getting her farm, her solid farm in the early game. Otherwise, come mid-game, she doesn't have much to offer. If Night Stalker falls behind in the mid-game, the early game, he can always catch up in the mid-game with a couple of well-placed ganks. Death Prophet, on the other hand, is going to be one to farm. She doesn't want to spend time catching up. Illusion's being sent mid, though, just to harass, and it looks like it will be AA with the Morphling up top, and it looks like the Rasta will just be busy jungling and, well, mostly pulling. But he'll be busy just utilising these pull camps. In fact, I think Zenith, last time we saw them go up against, or do an aggressive trial like this, against the Dire side, they actually threw a ward to block the easy camp, if memory serves me correctly, Gods.
Yeah, they threw a ward to block the easy camp, and their ward over near the normal pull camp didn't actually block it, but they just had it nearby to scatter down and be aggressive. They've done something similar here. Their ward is actually behind the tower this time around, but like you said, this is essentially a jungle Shadow Shaman. They don't want to really go Trial versus Trial. That's not going to work out for them against the Shadow Demon with Strat combo, but they can just pull the creep wave to the tower where Morphin can farm it a lot safer, and also Shadow Shaman getting some farm and level. I mean, he's got a couple of little creeps there. He can get up some boots, get up some flying couriers, more observe wards for his team. So that's going to work out pretty well for him. Bottom lane, Beastmaster vs Prophet, pretty even matchup there. Prophet will have a slight lasting advantage, as well as the ability to come help out, get some ganks at his top lane. And Loader, he loves his Prophet. He's been very influential every time he's played it, just getting early kills, early ganks for his team.
Yeah, and there we go. Like you said, they don't care if this medium pull camp isn't blocked, because they're quite happy. They're daring DDC to say, go and pull that, give it a shot. We'll go and fight you over there. And they don't mind too much if Morphling is, you know, spend a little bit of alone time with the Night Stalker. They're busy clashing with his support and putting them behind on levels and just picking them up, because their lane up here is their top lane is all about trading kills and just being highly aggressive. There we go. We can see HY dive forwards, just going to try and cause some damage. There's the Banish, although we're going to see a waveform, so you can see how Night Stalker actually not managed to land the stun in time, slightly missed time there, and Sylar will escape after causing a bit of damage, but it's going to burn through his mana pool, and he doesn't have that many waveforms in him. So constant aggression is, and as soon as he's out of mana and doesn't have that escape mech up, he's going to have to play a lot more defensive, which is going to limit the amount of CS he can get against this lane.
Yeah, the waveforms are very valuable here, but he didn't actually take any damage. That was the big thing there. That harass did absolutely next to nothing except wasting his mana. Ancient Apparition has a clarity which can always be pulled over to the Morphling, and this Battering, the thing is, he's not going to be using wave. I mean, he'll maybe have to use one wave every minute or two to escape, but with the Bassa regen, his passive mana regen is going to be enough to sort of sustain it in this lane. He'll probably go for an early bottle as well, I imagine, just to give him the HP and mana regen in this top lane. The Perseverance build into a Linken's is not really favoured here. I feel it'll be something like a Bottle Treads, maybe into a BKB, maybe into something like an Ethereal Blade, but we're not going to be seeing a Linken's just because of how much it does cost him. And there we go. We're going to have an Urn of Shadows actually being brought up to the top lane, and Boka picking up a kill on mid. Shadow Shaman came out of the jungle, takes out Death Prophet. Yao doing some nice baiting at mid lane with that Invoker.
I noticed, yeah, he was doing a lot of damage with Cold Snap. Death Prophet was not really able to cope with that too much, as it looks like HY is going to move out. He's got that Urn up and running now, and again, X-Freedom and XY just trying to jack this creep pool. And this is why they're not too bothered if DDC actually pulls this, because A, they'll give it a shot at killing him, and B, they'll actually just try and steal the creep, so they'll almost effectively try and jungle. I see the port coming in, they're going to go for a kill, a dive from HY, the cold feet goes down, there's the Soul Catcher, and this is not looking good for DDC at all. Trapped by the Sprout, will cut his way free, because every mother and his dog has a tango at the start of the game. Sylar, except the Night Stalker actually, he's down to nothing but health pots. But they are going to manage to gank them here. Death of Nature's Prophet. Oh, we're going to have to go with Furion for this match, because obviously the two Prophets here going to cause a little bit of confusion. But they're actually just going to go for the push. And Morphling actually in a bit of a sticky... In fact, he's probably actually going to have to port out, or just at least waveform into the trees or something. But they are actually going to put a lot of pressure on this tower. If they take this early tower, this is really bad news for Morphling. He's not going to have it really anywhere safe to farm. Especially these guys start kicking around his jungle. The Banish goes down. They're actually going to keep pushing him while the track is there. Pushing that tower. Mike, no... doesn't quite manage to get a hit there on that courier, but he is boxed in. Death Prophet is here. Crobulus actually not going to try and harass Sylar. She says, screw it, I'm just going to back. I think they know he's got a waveform up, it's unlikely to do anything. They decide not to waste time. They get the top tower. Loader is going back to his own lane, although there is an incoming gank down here as Leshrac actually picks off Shadow Shaman. Where the hell did that go down?
Yeah. Just in the jungle there, I think the Edict found Shadow Shaman alone, but importantly for LGD is they're chipping away at this bottom tower. It's actually going to get denied by Loader, but either way, it's a bit of fun going their way. Actually, H-Apparition tried to snipe it. Loader is surrounded at bottom lane, and he looks like he's going to go down. There is no Raw at the moment, but Cold Feet with some axes. The axes, oh no, actually the Treant's actually helping Loader escape. Loader's going to be alright here. They do botch that gank a little bit there. LGD also see the tower getting denied, so nice deny from Loader. And Zenith, they do keep themselves alive, both bottom and Death Prophet taking a lot of damage at mid, so LGD losing a top tier 1 tower early, seeing a couple of kills not go their way, but all in all, they're still farming alright, and while this top tier 1 tower has been pushed, it's going to be more dangerous for Morphling. If he can pull the way back, he can farm it near that tier 2 tower and then just steadily increase his farm and catch up slowly, bit by bit.
I love that little escape there from Loaded. Just cheeky little deny and then escaping, such a greasy pig. Hard to pin down. I like the little escapes, especially the jukes and the tree cuts, always nice. DD still jungling though, pulling like crazy, and also I like the fact he is ganking. I see a port into the jungle. Loader looks like he may actually just switch to jungling now that his tower is down. Just going to try and stay off the map, keep a low profile. The thing is though, they haven't really interrupted this Invoker all too much. He's sitting on 22 and 9. DD being bottled by Crobulus though. She would be moving into this mid lane. 23 and 6, so they're pretty much even, although obviously they did get a bit of a gank there on the Death Prophet, but I think she's just been lasting better because she's been spamming the Death Wave at the moment. Has hit level 6, gone for 3, 1, 1, and 1 on her skill build. Actually did. Sometimes we'll see the Prophets, the Death Prophets, Crobulus, when they do their skill builds, they actually won't bother with the early level silence because they're 1v1. They're like, well, I'm not actually going to do much if I silence them anyway, because it's the kind of thing where you need a bit of follow-up regardless. So they go for the second level in the Witchcraft just to lower the cost on this Deathwave spam, as well as just also giving them a few extra spirits for when they do push with their ultimates. So in this case, like the silence, I don't mind it, but the level 1 silence isn't huge. It's a really small AoE, so I think he could have decided to skip it if he wanted to, but it's always fine.
He did get the silence literally at level 1, just for that team fight at level 1 in the Dire jungle. He was thinking he might need the silence, so that's why he got it. Big engagement at mid. They do manage to pick off the Night Stalker. They used a Raw form, and Prophet ultimate coming in, got a revenge kill on Ancient Apparition in fact, so LGD lose Ancient Apparition, but they get the big kill. Night Stalker bottom lane. Zenith looking for a tier 1 tower. They're going to get a Sprout. Soul Catcher down on Zhao 8, the Beastmaster. He's taking so much amplified damage, but he's going to be okay here, and he keeps his tower alive for now. We're going to see this tower maybe get denied. Yeah, the Treants get deniable. Can they get the last hit in? They will manage to do so. Beastmaster gets it, and Beastmaster has gone for the max out Inner Beast. No points in Call the Wild. Going for the sort of the early game, the slightly stronger team fight, and the additional pushing power you get from having that attack speed. Mid lane, Ice in trouble though, taking a lot of right-click damage. Tornado, it was a defensive disruption. It got cancelled by the Tornado. Great play from the Invoker. Yao picks up the kill. Prophet taking out the Shadow Shaman, but basically LGD picked up 2 kills there, a kill on Death Prophet as well as Night Stalker, only losing their supports in that last couple of minutes. So losing your supports for kills on those key heroes is a nice trade for them.
Definitely. Loader actually pausing the game here. Although I agree with that, it's a nice thing. The pushing power is actually nice. Oh wow, okay. Lots of DCing there from LGD. But I've got to say, the Inner Beast is nice, but I almost thought we'd see the Hawk, just because it would give them a lot of extra map vision against this Night Stalker, who's going to be ganking them left, right, and center now, especially during the night time. But Inner Beast is always great. It does really help out with the early push, and just early fights as well. It just adds that little bit of extra damage. It is really, really nice. Night Stalker, though, it looks like he might be trying to build up drums. So he's got a Robe of the Magi there, unless he's planning to turn that, like, just use that as a component for treads. And then switch to strength. Although most Night Stalkers I see these days, they do actually go for the phase boots. So I'm getting the feeling, guys, that it's probably going to be drums there on the Night Stalker.
Oh, I'd say it could be the way he wants to go here. Drums would be a bit of an unusual build at least. It wouldn't be what I'd expect from him. And I think the early Robe does boost up his mana pool, so he may just switch it into a treads here.
Possible.
The treads he can just have, I mean, you can turn those into string threads and then use it for the additional HP. But, I mean, either way, he just wants something to boost up his mana pool for the moment. I feel drums would be a bit unusual. He wants to... Night Stalker doesn't have too many mana problems when you have a magic wand with an urn. You get the mana regen, the passive mana regen from the urn, and you also get the instant mana regen from a magic 6. So I'd say more likely to be treads, but both is possible, and drums I just feel a bit unusual here. The big thing is Loader has now got his Midas, and we're going to see him, in typical Loader fashion, head off into that jungle and just look to start increasing his farm, get some more levels going his way, and really use that to his advantage to sort of get a bit of a lead, get Zenith further and further ahead.
You know, the ping, I thought they were, yeah, no, they're fine. The LGD currently sitting on 130 to 115 pings. That's pretty damn good. And most of Zenith are actually sitting on 90, close, just shy of 100. So it is very close ping-wise. I think maybe they're getting pack loss and spiking possibly. Not dead sure what the issue is for LGD right now. But so far their ping looks completely fine as far as I can tell. Just looking at Loader. What is it? Oh, okay, the Midas is incoming once again. Looking to farm up a Stormless Shrek. Has gone for the early arcanes, and so far he hasn't been under that much pressure, hasn't been getting spammed with nukes, so it seems like that's been okay for him. Often we'll see these supportless Shreks, if they go for the early arcanes and get hammered early on, and they really struggle to catch up in the mid game, just because it kind of snowballs out of control going into that mid game where they just keep getting killed again and again and again by just mass nukes. But that said, I mean, we look at the Dire lineup, they actually don't have that much combo nukes that they can fire out all at once. As it looks like HY is actually going to get arrested, moving in, it changes his mind though, doesn't want to get caught out by a cold snap while a creep wave is hammering on him. Or maybe he does, he's going to charge back in there. Here comes Beastmaster, though. He's level 7, does have the Roar up if he wants to go for it. Leshrac is here, though, with the Edict. Will they try and stop something? They look for the Knight, don't manage to find it. The Roar goes down on the Night Stalker, gets defensively banished as well. Stun goes down on top of Xiao 8, heals himself up, though, taking a lot of damage. Nature's Wrath goes through there, and they will get this kill on the Beastmaster. The question is, can they get a retaliatory kill there? And there we go. The Shadow Demon does get picked off. Will Leshrac go down as well? And currently Invoker is out of mana, but Morphling hasn't got enough either. Actually, no, he's got a magic wand. That will give him enough. It looks like XY will actually just suicide here, if he can. Yeah, he's just trying to suicide, and Sylar looking for the kill, doesn't find, actually gets blocked in now by the Ancients. This could be slightly embarrassing. This is actually, this could be a terrible he's trying to avoid attacking them to get rid of the aggro. There we go, he will escape. Unlike Dota 1, creeps do not sleep at night.
Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, but he really wanted that kill, and he almost got there in time. Leshrac, XY making a big play there, denying that kill in XP. Mid lane though, Shadow Shaman gets found by Night Stalker and Death Prophet. Another kill going Zenith's wave, and that's one that isn't going to see a rebuttal. Most of the kills so far has been Zenith picking up a kill, LGD getting one in return with their counter gank. I mean, either the Invoker with the Tornado, Cold Snap Beastmaster Roar, or just some disables coming out with a waveform. But this time, it's a kill, and it's going to be LGD just sort of farming away in the side lanes for the moment. Invoker trying to catch up a bit at top. Beastmaster's at mid. He's just got Bottle and Boots right now. He's not looking all that farm. Doesn't have any big items. And HY, bottom lane, goes looking for an extra apparition. Not going to get the kill as there are some TPs coming in. And we'll see HY backing things off now. He's up to 1,400 gold already, though, so he's looking pretty farmed at the moment. Gets up his treads. We'll see if he turns the Stout Shield into a Vanguard or just starts building towards a BKB. I see one of those two items would be his next go-to item.
Yeah, you were right, it was treads indeed, so he was actually just going for the early man, which I suppose makes sense. He was fighting in the lane a lot. He was relying or leaning heavily on his nuke there, so getting the extra mana early on probably helped him out quite a bit. I'm just watching them roll top. It's interesting, he's actually gone for the treads. A lot of them have actually been going for phase boost, so interesting justification for him there. As they're actually going to go top, keep spamming down those creep waves. At the moment, Zenith, not really Deathborn, but they're sticking tight together apart from the Night Stalker and the Prophet. Night Stalker and the Prophet, the two mobile heroes, are quite happy to be elsewhere because they can defend or push wherever they need to and then be in the other lanes relatively quickly. Whereas the other three heroes, they're just going to stick as a group. I think this is a smart move from them. It's going to make sure they're difficult to pick off.
Yeah. If they're not getting picked off, then there's just no way for that, so that they can sort of claw their way back into this game. And we're going to see whether or not Zenith can just keep taking down towers out of the top lane. They're grouped up. They've only got 3 here. They need to be careful. But they have got a well-placed observer. They haven't put it in the obvious spot on that high ground, past that, behind that tier 2 tower. They're going to put it just in the jungle, getting some decent vision though. And as a result, they know when someone is going to be coming into that jungle. They're going to swing towards mid lane now, maybe look for a pickup. Another ward going down. X-Freedom has been on top of that so far. And it looks like he is going to be going for some Tranquil Boots. He's just going for that Chiba, and he gets put out though. Disruption. We'll see Leshrac to follow up with the stun. Stun hits only the Ancient Apparition. He stunned a bit too early, but the Ancient Apparition will drop. And Beastmaster in a lot of trouble as well. That's Soul Catcher with the Death Prophet. Those phase boots allowing Death Prophet. Look how fast that Death Prophet is.
Oh,
the
she's got a haste.
Speed is ridiculous. Oh, okay, there's a haste for him. I'm thinking phase boots with level 3 Witchcraft. Holy crap. And bottom lane. Kill going to Loader, gets the Shadow Shaman. Invoker looking to find Loader though. Loader, he doesn't have mana TP, he now does. He's going to try TP out. Waveform coming in. Morphling gets a kill, and Sylar needed that farm badly.
It's okay though, because they do trade for a tower and they get the kills as well. That Nature's Wrath actually came screaming through on the tail end of its bounces and did a ton. And Soul Catcher was up. You know how much Nature's Wrath hits on the end tail as well. And it hammered Beastmaster onto that Soul Catch. He really dropped so fast because of that. And they're actually are they hunting for another kill? No, I think they might actually just transition to a mid push. They do have a fair amount of room to push here, and they've still got a little bit of nighttime left. HYHY doesn't have his ult up though at the moment. They're actually just going to spam nukes here. They might actually not be able to do this, especially with Exorcism down.
Yeah, without the Exorcism here, there is enough spam on the dire side that they should be able to hold this here. Not to mention that Tornado EMP is going to start to become annoying. The Night Stalker does have some mana problems. He's only sitting on 350 entire mana pool. He's got the Magic Stick, which he can use following the combo, but he's going to be very reliant on the Arcane Boost from Leshrac to keep his mana up. And right now, that's the only Arcane Boots on their side. Shadow Demon decided to go for the Tranquil Boots and Death Prophet with Phase Boots. So just the one Arcane Boots, that could really make it hard for this Night Stalker in this mid-game. I mean, one Tornado EMP, he's forced to pop his Magic Stick in the Arcane Boots, and even then, he will be very low on mana.
I think it might be okay. I think it should be okay, because I think they'll actually be, in these team fights, especially these early team fights, I think they're probably going to gun for the Invoker fairly early anyway, so it should be alright, I feel. Especially since Night Stalker tends, like, they're not really deathballing in the team fights anyway. It looks like Zenith are mostly just trying to split up the pushes. They keep the three, they keep Leshrac, Shadow Demon, and Death Prophet together, and then split up Nature's Prophet and Night Stalker elsewhere. It just seems to be working really well. Like, you see them just, the Nature's Prophet and the Night Stalker just pick off heroes elsewhere. And yeah, there is a gank on top lane. It looks like HYHY in some serious trouble. Nature's Wrath, though, comes screaming through, does a fair bit of damage to DD, and it looks like HYHY will survive. There was also a bit of an attempt at going in on the Death Prophet there, although Invoker by himself did not have enough damage for sure. And they will actually try and jump Invoker here. There's Disruption. Can they land a stun? Soul Catcher with the stun. That's a lot of damage. No escape for Invoker. Great setup. Nicely timed. And it looks like Ice looking for a rune. Doesn't find it. The 14-minute rune has spawned bottom. No, it hasn't. Okay, it's gone. Whatever. Morphling may have nicked it. He has actually picked it. He's gone. Looks like he's gone for the early BKB, Gods.
Yeah, he's going to be going for that BKB. The Treant there, I think, was actually destroying that rune at the bottom lane here. But I feel BKB is going to be the right item to get against the Night Stalker Silence. The Prophet, who's getting a lot of farm, will be going for probably... Actually, it's going for the Accept, but not going to see a Sheep Stick up. But still, BKB can allow the Morphling to get very involved. Really just almost initiate in himself. Or whenever there's a Beastmaster roll, you can just go waving in, start right click, and doesn't have to worry about any counter initiation coming from the Night Stalker and the Death Prophet. Having those two silences, try and focus him down. Death Prophet is going to be going for a Bloodstone. Does pick up the Vitality Booster with the Point Booster, so the early Phase Boost decides to transition into a Bloodstone here. Will still be about only halfway there, and that's going to be a while before that Bloodstone is up. So Zenith may just want to sit back and catch up on some of their farms, start getting closer to some of these core items before they start forcing too many fights right now. I feel kind of sorry for Rasta. He's so short on mana because he's playing this hard support role. He's really, really suffering. Has picked up some counter wards though. A smoke up there from the die. LGD looking to make something happen here. Might even dive into the enemy jungle. Could actually pick off Loader if they're lucky, although he is actually pretty tanky at the moment. Yeah, I don't think they can pick him off. They might manage to make something happen on the mid. There's another Tornado going through. It is just, yeah, harassing though, and they are actually going to try and gank the Shadow Demon down bottom. I don't know if this is the best use of their time. There are more important heroes. They will actually walk in the Loader. Here we go. Now the pick-off can happen. The slow there from the Vortex. The Roar. The Ice Blast as well. Easy kill. And Nature's Prophet says, alright, I'm coming back for revenge. And he is actually coming back for revenge. Here he goes. Prophet is here. Doesn't quite get down the trap though. And the Prophet actually missing the silence as well. She's doing a lot of damage. Tornado not going to hit anything. Going screaming through there without doing anything. The Magic Wand gets popped by Ancient Apparition. He's taking a lot of damage. He will just get finished up and run down. No escape. And really that buyback from Loader not too useful in the end, I would say, Gods. Yeah, I think it was still an okay idea though. He could have almost gotten a couple of kills for his team, but it was a slightly mispaced teleportation. He didn't TP close enough to get either the Beastmaster or the Ancient Apparition or the Shadow Shaman. Any of those three heroes, he didn't really contribute. It was just Death Prophet getting a solo kill there, but still, Zenith are just going to go start pushing pressure on this tier 2 tower. Invoker. Tornado gets dropped with no EMP at the moment, but it's still going to be really hard to push against these heroes, and those Serpent Wards just being used defensively to keep that tower up and running and just buy LGD more time to get Morphling, more farm, and just really help them catch up. Because right now, LGD are falling further and further behind. Morphling's still got a bit of a way before he's got that BKB up by the looks of things. He hasn't got either the Myth or Hammer or the recipe. So things are right now in in Zenith's hands. And the ball is in their court, and what are they going to do with it?
Well, even if they finish the BKB in like the next 5 minutes or so, it's not going to be a huge deal, I don't feel, just because they have a lot of physical damage. Edict will go through it, they've got the Exorcism from Death Prophet, so I don't think they're in too much trouble, as well as the fact that Nature's Prophet is probably going to get some right-click damage relatively, or probably, actually, no, he might go for a Hex next, actually, but he's working on an Arganims at the moment, it would seem. As he did go for an Arganims, he did do the same build last match, so I feel like he's got an Arganims on the way, but they're going to have a fair bit of damage that will go through the BKB, and Morphling just with the BKB doesn't do that much either. It's not like getting the fast Ethereal Blade up. Once, if he had the Ethereal Blade up first, he could just completely obliterate Leshrac and take him out of the fight, or even another key hero. So, I think they've still got a fair bit of time to push, or even just continue fighting on after the Morphling gets the BKB. It's once he gets his next damage on him, then things will look a little sketchy, but we've seen how fat Loda can get, so they may not be that worried.
Oh yeah, Loda on this Prophet has just been a farming machine these last couple of games. I mean, it's been HY and I setting up the team fights and really having some great positioning and team fight crowd control, but it's always been Loda doing the right-click DPS, having big farm, and then also using that buyback or Aegis to his advantage. If he goes down, he just buys back and comes right back, does even more damage, and has been wreaking havoc with this Prophet. A hero that I think Zenith are realizing that they can use very comfortably in his hands.
And an easy push here for LGD, cleaning up that first tier mid tower. So it looks like possible engagement on top. Morphling is actually going to take a bit of right-click damage. Dives in on top of Loda, but he's got a replication up, so he's not too bothered at all. In fact, I think he's got enough mana to get out there if necessary. Push on the second tier tower in the mid lane. They do actually need to do something about this at the moment. Tornado goes through EMP as well. Shattered him and likely to get hit by that. Loses all of his mana there. I think he was trying to disrupt himself before he lost his mana, as Ice has picked up the Soul Booster, as it looks like he's only about 1,000 gold or so away from that Bloodstone. And now the push goes top. LGD not letting up at all. They're saying, alright, let's try and get down another tower before nighttime, because once nighttime comes around again, Night Stalker is actually going to come back and fight some more, because he has enough money pretty much now for his BKB, and comes to the second night with the BKB, he is not going to be happy. He's going to look to kick some ass and take some names.
Oh yeah, and right now, he really needs to see LGD. I mean, you mentioned it. He needs the second big item, not just the BKB. He's going to need, whether it's a Skadi, a Mantisar, whatever he's going to go for after that BKB, it's going to be essential to get up as fast as possible. He has now bought up the BKB. He hasn't died. I mean, he's 2-0-0, 111 creep kills at 19 minutes. That is good farm for a Morphling. They've got a couple towers going as well, so, I mean, a 90-minute BKB treads with this bottle. This is about where you'd expect Morphling to be at. The problem is coming from some of these other heroes who aren't getting the greatest of farms. Beastmaster's trying to finish off this mech. He's got Arcane Boots as well, so Beastmaster's doing alright. The Invoker, 64 creep kills with a 4-stuff. I mean, LGD, they have most of their core items up there. The problem is going to be that it's just the Radiant team have been free farming all over the map and just controlling this game, getting tower after tower. And you look at heroes like Death Prophet, as well as a Night Stalker, all getting a lot of farm going their way.
This is definitely looking problematic, and here comes the second night. It is time for Night Stalker to cause him. Actually, no, I think that's his ultimate. Actually, I'm pretty sure, yeah, there we go. He's popped Darkness, so never mind. That's not the second night. He will just look around for skills. It is only level 2, though, so it won't last that long. It looks like it's going to be a complete waste in the end. Finds absolutely nothing with it as they are hunting around. They do have a gem now, though, so they're going to do a little bit of counter-warding while they're at it. Although they may have spotted Silo there. I'm not quite sure if his vision reached far enough, although the Beastmaster Hawk has spotted them up. They will take it out, though, and that is good. Now, the thing is that it'll help them know when they're spotted. That's the other important thing. Beastmaster spawning another one. This is why this is going to be so damn good, having this Hawk, although he gets killed yet again. But it's going to give them a ton of warning against these Night Stalker ganks.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, without Night Stalker able to get any of those kills here, he's got this gem which he's trying to use to de-ward and get the map control back in Zenith's favor, but for the most part, it has been LGD with some pretty strong awareness. Lately, I mean, there haven't been kills going to Zenith's way in the last couple of minutes, which is why they've used his smoke gank, why they're looking for a pick-up. It may come on this Invoker at mid. He does have the 4-star. Roshan attempt is going on. I don't know if Zenith even realized things, and they're going to engage on Invoker, who's 4-stars away. The Sprout coming as well. Zenith's going to pick up that kill, and LGD abandoned Roshan Pit. That was a ambitious attempt at Roshan. I mean, Zenith were right next to him. That could have been, instead of a kill on the Invoker, that could have been 2 or 3 kills on those 3 heroes attempting Roshan.
I don't think they actually knew that was happening, or they must not have realized that the Zenith was so close, because there's no way they would have blown the wards there when they realized that these guys could just push on minutes. It looks like they are just going to charge, and they clean up the Beastmaster as well. And this is an easy second tier tower, because like, the issue is, like, now this second tier tower is dying, and even then, that was not exactly the best position for the wards either if they got attacked while they're in there. Like, you see how far forward they were behind Roshan, so if there was a clash in that pit, their wards wouldn't have been able to hit a whole lot. So I really don't think they knew Zenith was quite that close. And DDC is playing it very fast and loose. He's really close, because look, here we go, Knight's going, uh-oh, look, your food, let me just eat you. Although he decides not to dive under the tower, the 2 towers, especially when there's Cold Snap on the way. Definitely doesn't want to get anywhere near that. EMP will burn through all of his mana. He does have 10 charges on that magic stick. And look, he's not even bothering to upgrade. He's just wanted that, so he has the ability to replenish the mana when he gets hit by the EMP. And where's Leshrac in his Arcane Boots? Leshrac is actually building... Whoa, Ice Blast came through. Did that hit anything? I don't think so. Leshrac, they're busy building a BKB now. That is definitely going to help things out there.
And here we go, the last added tower is going to go Zenith's way, and this is, I mean, it's starting to snowball. I mean, Zenith's getting kills when they please, they're getting towers when they please, and LGD just do not have the defensive capabilities yet. They still haven't got this mech up on Beastmaster. They're just somewhat lacking in items as well as survivability. HY with a DD rune goes in, pops a BKB, in fact. That gets rid of that DD, but he's still looking to get some kills in. He takes out Shadow Summon, gonna twitch on targets. Beastmaster in trouble as well, pops a Roar, helping him to escape. Carrion Swarm going on through. Ancient Apparition Ultimate. This lands. That could be the end of HY. Morphling, just morphing to strength, keeping himself alive as long as possible. He's going to get silenced and stunned. He actually gets taken out. He stopped morphing to strength there for a second and got taken out because of it.
That is unfortunate for him indeed, and the Ice Blast was not successful in knocking off HY. In fact, Xiao 8 needs to be careful, because Night Stalker wants to kill him. He's looking for it. He may actually even find it. He doesn't know he's coming. There we go. Night Stalker going to dive in. He gets the silence down, going for the Void now in a second. The Medallion of Courage actually getting thrown down there as well. They get the Void off. The Carrion Swarm once again getting that kill. Cold Snap though doing a lot of damage. 4-star in there from Invoker. He may get this kill. That's a lot of damage. He will actually earn up, and turn around goes for a silence. A Void as well. There's the kill on Invoker. Great play there from Ice and HY. Comboing their nukes and silencers in great effect. As it looks like they're even going to push him. Whose Necrobook is that? Is that Furion's? It is Furion's Necrobook. They take this mid tower. Looks like a mid-rax is coming. Edict is down as well. And God, Zenith have just been too coordinated, too aggressive for LGD this match.
I mean, I love the way Zenith play aggressively. A lot of teams you'll see being aggressive, and it's a bit sloppy, it's a bit sort of lacking in the timing of their chain stuns and their just positioning, but Zenith are absolutely precise and calculated when they're being aggressive, and you can see they dive in, they get those kills. HY escapes on 50 HP, and then he earns himself up, comes back in to throw down another nuke. He's still on only about 200 or 300 HP, but he's got the backup there. Death Prophet has a silence to back him up, and it's just perfect play, great communication from all of Zenith. And they are looking in a very good position here to go 2 games up on LGD. Take this to a final best of 3, as this would be the first best of 3 going Zenith's way. Although it's not yet over, there is a Morphling who does have BKB in the Yasha, and LGD are going to try and make this Morphling get into a position where he can carry this game. But it's still a long way to go for Sylar, I feel. Sylar, speaking of Sylar, I think it was him who just got that courier kill that looked like he came out to give him something and then just sat there in the lane. And Death Prophet, it was actually sitting next to a Radiant Ward. Death Prophet, oh, okay, let me just pick up this haste and go and kill that stationary courier that's sitting in the middle of nowhere for no good reason. Unfortunate, so there's another 175 gold for every single Zenith player. And it looks like LGD are just falling apart at the seams. But I've got to say, this aggressive play from Zenith is definitely high risk, high reward stuff. And when they mess it up, because it doesn't always go to plan, especially, we were watching the Earth game, there are a lot of overextensions there. And that's the kind of thing, like, that'll have people hating on them, go, oh, Zenith noob and stuff. But it's just that, it's high risk, high reward. If they pull it off, they look awesome. They look absolutely fantastic. Like that 50 health escape there and heal up from HY, and then turning it around to get that kill on Invoker. It looks awesome, but it can also just give away easy kills at the same time. So, got to watch out for that. But I've got to say, when they're hot, Zenith, they're hot. And they are absolutely dominating right now, Gods. Oh yeah, I have to agree with that. And we will see, I mean, the item progression is just getting a bit out of control for Zenith. You've got an ultimate orb up on Death Prophet. We're going to see a Sheep Stick soon. Leshrac has finished off the BKB. Shadow Demon in the support here. He's got a Hedris here. Looks to be building towards a mech for his team. Prophet, Necrobook 3 is up. And Night Stalker going to be seeing a Aghanim Scepter up very, very soon. Whereas the Dire side are looking very, very poor in comparison right now.
looking Zed. It looks like they're going to dive in there. The Exorcism gets popped. Silencer on Beastmaster. Can't get his Roar off. There's his Frost running. He wants to pop in a Necro Book running in his face. Gonna try and burn off all his mana. In fact, the Raster Illusion trying to get rid of that. The Exorcism still chewing away through that wave, as well as it looks like HYHY in the middle of the enemy camp because he can. Roar on top of HYHY, goes through the BKB, but it's to no avail. Beastmaster goes down and they actually chase down the Raster Illusion, and it looks like they actually have to retreat back to the fountain to get away from the Necro Book because it's causing too much trouble. Ice Blast going to go through it, searching for nothing actually. Goes and smacks absolutely nothing. Morphling though, teleporting back to his own base. The Silence goes down there from Death Prophet on top of DD. He's in a lot of trouble. DD is down. Raster is out of the mix. And Beastmaster's still dead. Sylar though, gonna take out, I think it was Sylar. Yes, Sylar does actually manage to kill Shadow Demon there. Invoker goes down once again. And this is looking all sorts of pear-shaped for LGD. However, guys, this is just the second best of 3. And if there we go, the GG's are called. So Zenith have won this second best of 3.
Or first best of 3.
Well, I'm going to call it the second because it makes less confusing. LGD are already up 1-0 because they came through the winners bracket. So this ties it up 1-1. This ties it up 1-1, and we will go forward into the third best of 3. This upcoming best of 3 series will decide who comes first, who comes second, who gets $3,000, and who goes home with second place. So stay tuned, guys. We've got another cracking best of 3 series coming up very shortly, and I cannot wait to see what Zenith crack out, and also how LGD respond, because they need to pull something out of the hat now.
Oh yeah, the LGD, I mean, this is 2 games in a row. Fairly, I mean, this game number 2 especially was somewhat one-sided. Game number 1 was, I mean, LGD had a slight edge early on, but once Zenith sort of grouped up and just started team fighting, it was looking like there was nothing LGD could do. So 2 games where Zenith looked comfortable, and I'd say this game it looked one-sided. So, I mean, really, LGD maybe a bit brown at the moment and need to find some way of dealing with Zenith's playstyle.
Indeed, Zenith crazy aggressive, and I mean, this is what... It's just almost sort of the matchup that people were talking about when they were talking about Asia going to meet Europe at the International, how the sort of the safer turtley style Chinese stuff is going to meet the Europeans who are more aggressive in the International tour. And I mean, I think it's sort of a bit of a stereotype, because as we see, Zenith, Asian team, ridiculously aggressive. Orange, Asian team, ridiculously aggressive as well. So, as it comes down, we've also got to remember though, LGD have actually come through this winners bracket, but they haven't actually met Zenith at any point, have they? This is their first meeting.